Hola everybody, it will mean a lot if you like and subscribe. The video will do better in the algorithm and we can help more people. So if you can like and subscribe, would mean the world to us. Muchas gracias. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to speak about where to play the bandeja. What speed, what direction, some situations where people go to the net, where people stay closer to the glass. Where are you going to play the bandeja in order to get the volley after? Because how to get a volley after you're playing the bandeja and that you're not getting lobbed after you play the bandeja, because this is not helpful whatsoever. So today you are going to improve your vibra with me and yeah, vamos! First situation where we're going to get into is that one player goes closer to the net and now it's the player in front of me. You see that the left player is very far out of position and that the player on the right steps into the net. In this situation, the player on the left is at the back and the player on the right is going closer to the net. I see a gap between those players, and if I played this ball fast because I saw the gap, I would lose the point because the net players are probably good in volley fast bandejas. So I played this ball very soft and short. And that's why Nick made a mistake. If I play this ball fast, he's a very good tennis player. He would play drop shot, or he can do everything he wants to do. Okay, now we're going to get a rally with a few bandejas slash viboras. So this is very interesting. And I think the problem of our shots is here that most of the shots are to the players and on the fourth wall. So the wall exactly in the center is wall number 5. And if you play from there or there, it's wall number 4. And I think this is the worst bandeja you can play because the defenders don't have to run so far and then they can lob. So you can see that a lot of bandejas are getting lobbed. So it's just doing the serve. He's playing to Moos. I play soft to the fence, and then this is the one I'm talking about. So you see here that Itch is playing short before the white line, aiming for glass number 4. And Nick is stepping back so he can take the ball before the glass. So if you want the defender to make him use the glass, this ball should be placed 1.5 meters to the right. So more on the 5th glass, because then Nick cannot take it before the glass or to the fence. It's not a good idea to play cross courts or to the fence because you're too far. But now it would be perfect to play the same ball to the center of the court, so the 5th wall. But now it's going to him, he can play the backhand. We're getting lobbed again. And then you cannot pressure the opponent. So now the ball is back. Now I made the same mistake, so my ball is softer, but it's on the 4th wall. So again, he can play the lob again. So we are not pressuring anybody. Now the ball is more to the middle, so Nick has to move way more. He's more out of position, which is much, much better. It's still a little bit of a too easy ball, so Nick can lob again, and I have to play the ball from 1 step away from the service line. I can play there, and I think that's a very good shot, but it's still loppable. It's a loppable ball, and he can play the lob again. I have to do another one, and now I am nearly hitting the ball behind the service line. I play this ball way too high, and we still managed to win the point somehow. Nick was playing the vibora again, and it's before the white line. It's his feet, so the right player plays on the feet of Itch. And Itch can play before the glass to Moos his backhand, and Moos makes a mistake, which normally this would be a point for Moos and Nick because his backhand volley is amazing. But it is an okay shot. It has a little bit more speed. I guess if you play in front of the feet and you play quite rapidly, it is quite difficult to get the ball back. So what I would recommend from this rally, the learning points, is if you play in the center, play slow and play on the 5th wall. Avoid glass number 4. Don't play there. If you play to the body, you can play faster and you can play before their feet or on their feet. If Nick placed this ball a half a meter deeper, it would be even better. But some players are very good in volleying this shot. So what I would recommend is if you play faster shots, play on the feet. If you are afraid that the ball is difficult and you're not in a good position, slow it down and try to play on that fifth wall. And be careful with this to the fifth wall because they may bounce up. You can see my ball, I was very far out of position and well, don't do that. So be careful with this shot to the center. It has to be very short and very slow, and it's dangerous because the ball bounced up very, very high. So now we're going to get into a situation where the player on the left, can play the bandeja. She's moving backwards, so I think, oh, this is a good way to go forward to volley the ball. In my opinion, this lob is a little bit too far to his side of the court. I prefer to play the lob slightly more to his partner, so he has to run more, and it's harder for him to play down. And now he plays a very good shot. I have to step in a little bit closer to the net to volley the ball. I have the ball, and Nick kills me. So when you see this happening, you have to coach your partner left in front or right in front, whatever you want to say. And instead of playing the bandeja, play the ball on the feet. I think it's very important that you talk to your partner where your opponent is positioned, and then you can change, because now he could play my feet. If Moos was going to play the bandeja, I would play a very good volley. So now we're going to get into a rally where we're not hurting anybody with our overhead shots, and this is part of the problem why we're losing. So we play a good lob from the return. It's placed, I think, a little bit too soft, but I think it's a good ball to play down the line. If he accelerates it a little bit more with Vibora, but Moos can block the ball. I had to play a little bit like this. The ball is okay, it's in, but Moos can play the lob again, so we're not... I want to have a volley after the bandeja, that's the main goal. Now it's plays the same shot more to the feet of Nick. Nick plays a forehand here, so you can see that there is a lot of space on his right side. So I think this was a good idea to play more against the fence, or to play more to the center, to the middle of the court. Now I can play it again, and I play a fake smash. Moos is in front. I had to play this more to the center. There's space in the middle, and now I play, I think, a very good ball to the fence, but it was looking to me instead of to the other side of the net. So you can see here, so he didn't know that Moos was coming in. So this is important, that you always are with your eyes in front. And but the entire build-up of the point is that we are not really hurting anybody with our overhead shots. So if you are not in a good position, it has to be more into placement. So it's not that we have to play the ball faster, but we have to make different angles. And once we start with a bad bandeja, it is quite hard to play a better one after, because we're probably in a worse position. So what we have to do is to be better in placing the ball, and I think especially playing into the center of the court. Moos and Nick, our opponents, are very, very good tennis players, and I think there is margin if we play more to the center, because then they have to use the glass. Then it is just slightly harder for them. I think this is an important part. This is the fake smash coming up too much. I wanted to play kick to the fence, but we lost the other point, so I thought, okay, let's play soft to the center. This ball is coming up too much, so this is not good. It blocks perfectly, so that's fine. Now we're getting into the same situation where it's plays actually a very good Vibora, but because Nick is very close to the glass and he can take it before the wall, it becomes not so good. This would be a very, very good bandeja if Nick was positioned closer to the white line, but he is very confident with his not with the wall defending. So what we have to do is this ball has to be more in the center, so he has to use the glass, or maybe against the fence if possible, because now he can play it up and we have to play again. So this is a good lob of Nick. we still win the point, but we are winning the point from the back of the court. I think we should be better when we are at the net, that we win more point, that we put more pressure into the balls. This is another good example from Nick, to play like a faster vibora in the center on the feet. Yeah, I played a lob. Now Itch is already close to the nets, so he didn't went back with me, so Nick has his vibora here, and he plays quite fast and down in the middle of the court. So this is a very good moment where he has a very high contact point to accelerate short on the feet. And if he does this with the smash, Itch can use the glass and the ball comes back. But because he's doing this and fast, it's super hard to get the ball back. So highly recommend, if your partner is getting lobbed, also to get back with two players, because if I am under pressure and run back, it is quite hard for me to play a very good lob. So we have to get into defending mode earlier. We have a good example from me. I'm playing the overhead very soft to the center. This is the one. So it plays a very deep ball to the forehand. Nick has to move back, but he still managed to play the lob. I play the bajada with my backhand, then we lob again. Most plays not out of the court. I cannot play the ball out. So now I play this very soft ball, one of the first balls. I actually play the vibora, and then we can play a volley after this. If we getting lobbed after the vibora, it's just not good enough. So this is the ball, soft to the center, and the fifth ball before the white line with a lot of slice, and then my partner can also go close to the net and pressure against the fence. So this is amazing. So this is how we should play. This is how you can win all of your matches in the tournaments if you can play a ball with a bandeja and you get a volley after. If you play to the center, you have to hit it very far to your right, because otherwise the ball comes up too much. So you can see that I'm hitting the ball a little bit here, and now the ball, it's still an okay ball, but the ball bounce is over the white line, and the opponent can play from there down on the feet of my partner. So that's not nice from me, because he can kill my partner. So this ball has to have a lot of slice and has to be soft, because otherwise it will turn against you. I'm serving now. Then if you can watch it, we're not really pressuring. We are at the net, but we are defending at the net. It's not so pressureful, if that is a word. So you can see that we are at the net, but it's super soft. We are not doing anything. They are running everywhere, so they have to work hard, but they are okay with this. So we have to do more with the ball, and it doesn't have to be speed again, but the positioning. And now it's just a matter of time that we lose the net or to lose the point, because there is not better to make a mistake maybe than this. Also, sometimes a bandeja is too fast. So you can see that Nick's bandeja, sorry Nick, is a little bit too fast, and it can counter attack. So he can play the chiquita after the vibora. So sometimes it's better also to play a little bit softer, because somebody can counter-attack if they use the wall. So Itch knows the walls very well. If his opponent plays a very fast vibora, he says thank you very much, and he can take over the net. So it's quite important that you keep the speed medium. If you want to play a very fast vibora / bandeja, the ball has to touch the fence, I think, and not the glass. Hey ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this video. I'll put the last rally at the best rally into the clip now. And let's focus on a few things. If you want to pressure with your vibora, try to play the vibora / bandeja with more effect and less power. If the bounce is lower, your opponents are less likely to play a good lob. So focus on how low you can get the ball. And I think it has something to do with how far your contact point is. Try to hit it so far to your right, like your go-go gadget, and your arm falls off. Try to play more often with the fence. We haven't seen any balls to the fence. This is so important that we do this more. And this is the tough match. This was 7-5, 4-6 or 3-6, something like this. It's very difficult to play that shot when you're under pressure, but it is better to lose in a good way than to win in a bad way. Let's focus, guys, on the viboras and the bandejas to play on the fifth wall and on the feet. So I hope this helps you out in your bandejas, viboras. Focus on your objective, where to play the ball. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. And if you want me to analyze your match, send in your match, become member on the premium channel, so then I can review your match and you can see what you should improve. So If you have any questions, let me know down below. I will answer all your questions and I see you next Monday. Hasta luego. Ciao. Adios.